RugRadio's GM Web3 is the crypto and NFT podcast out there. RugRadio found its roots as a decentralized Web3 media ecosystem, and the work hasn't stopped since. But what does decentralized Web3 media even mean? Do they return value to the shareholders and holders of NFTs and the performers? Who founded it? And do they have a shady past? The answers actually may surprise you. Today on my YouTube channel, we're going to dive into the RugRadio and their NFTs, their tokens, their ecosystem, so you can get a good look at what all this means. RugRadio's mantra here is to own the narrative, hence the decentralized Web3 media ecosystem. It's media for the people, by the people. Their website actually looks pretty good here. If you want to take a look, you can see all the different hosts. You can see Mando, Ed Balloon, Farouk, Lindsey Barnes. They're all on these podcasts all the time, and they provide some great insight into what's going on in the ecosystem, in the whole crypto ecosystem. That's cool and all, but what does that even mean? Let's go look through all the NFTs and tokens that they did issue. To kick things off, they ended up issuing their first thing was a RugRadio membership pass. I found these on FaZe Banks' Instagram story probably almost a year ago today. He told me to buy one, so I bought one. They're not as worth as much as they were when I bought them, but that doesn't mean that they lost their value. That membership pass was a key to get into their RugRadio Genesis NFT mint. So if you had one of those, you can mint one of these Genesis NFTs for free. These are their main NFTs for their ecosystem. I remember when I first bought mine, and we minted these, I think it was February or something like that, back in the bull run. It ran up to about 4 ETH when ETH was 4K. It was $16,000, and I said, I'm never selling this. Should have sold and rebought. Hindsight's always 20/20. And then later on, they ended up hooking up a little bit of a token with these rugs. So there's different roles for each. So there's the standards. These are kind of your rarities. You can see them down here in the bottom left: scarce 2, scarce 1, rare 2, rare 1. They all yield a different amount of rug tokens. So I ended up actually minting a scarce 1, lucky me, and it creates 7 rug tokens per day. The thing to note here is that there is no official exchange for the RugRadio token. You might find some other ones, but they're a little sketchy. Be careful. So what can you do with the rug token? Right now, there's only one stream you can do. It's 1,800 tokens, and you can exchange for an RDAO token. So it gives you an actual, I guess, not a share, but part of the holder of the RugRadio ecosystem. A little bit more in DAOs coming up, but not in this video. So then the second thing that they're going to be useful for is the fact that RugRadio Farouk has teamed up with Corey Van Leeuwen, who is going to be doing a PFP project for every Genesis holder. He's given some demos like this. This is what they're going to look like. I think it's going to cost. This is what to mint one of these is going to cost RugDAO rug tokens. The GM Web3 show is on Spotify. You can see it here. They have episode. I don't know how many episodes they got, but they got a lot. I can't even. There's so many. And so they do Twitter Spaces, and you can typically log into their Twitter Spaces. You can just kind of start asking questions with them up there as they do it. I think it's 10:30 Eastern time or something like that every day. And they've had some big names on there. We'll get into some of the history of the founders here in a minute, but I want to go through some of the names that they did have this year because it's been a big year for RugRadio. They had Tim Ferriss on. Joseph Lubin, who is the co-founder of Ethereum, was on there just the other day. They were at the Ledger Open. They actually do a pretty good, they have a YouTube channel, maybe I'll post it in links below, about security of your Web3. I've posted it in previous links, and they had Ledger come on as well and talk about it. They had Ferocious on here. He's a huge artist in the space. They got all the big people coming in here. But who's they? So as we've seen before, they do have a ton of hosts and a lot of different shows. But the one I listen to the most is GM Web3, hosted by Mando himself here. He's one that they call him Macro Daddy. He's got all the macro information, and he talks about the NFTs on a daily basis. OSF leads off the first talk about the macro and crypto space. So what we're seeing in the equity market as well as in the crypto market and kind of those correlations gets really deep into it. I've learned a lot from these guys. And then, of course, Farouk. So Farouk is just another Web3 and GM enthusiast here to create, learn, and vibe. This dude is just... He works hard, and he works a lot. He puts a lot out there. You can see them here. This is their show. You can see Farouk, OSF, and Mando. They do this. I think they have the Twitter Spaces have the video now. Whenever I bring these guys up at, say, some sort of NFT meetup or something like that, I always get a lot of weird sideways glances when I mention Farouk. It's either usually one of these or maybe one of these. So let's dive into say why that is. And we need to remember that Farouk's been around for a long time. He was back in the Clubhouse days in 2020 when everything was blowing up. The NFTs were starting to blow up. And he was one of the guys that was quoted as bringing bridging the normal people to a Web3 ecosystem and the NFTs. So if you Google, and actually when I talk about Farouk to people at any time, a lot of people bring up his Cool Cats thing. So if you Google Farouk Cool Cats, you get a lot of articles about NFT influencer accused of pumping and dumping tactics. That's interesting. So I feel like most founders would probably be like this once they get accused of that. But, I think he sometimes takes the high road. He is transparent about his stuff. I even found a quote from this article here in March 2022. Farouk, we love the Cool Cats. List 5 Cool Cats for sale. Nothing wrong with selling. And then someone talks about the same thing with Azuki. So wait. And then he's just like, wait, how does selling one of a 7 Zukis mean anything? I bought 6, swapped one, a fem, went out for another means nothing. And, he just goes back and forth about talking about what he actually did instead of just hiding away. I give him that for, not just running away. And then even Beanie did a collection just to make Fro look like a villain. He did some pretty good art. Beanie is a little sketch at the very least. So, and then he even replies, Farouk replies, says the fact that this account's first post and is what appears to make me as a villain is this is top engagement farm. Well done. I guess I'm just a villain, Beanie Maxi. But you know what? Here's my hot take. Farouk is the alpha. Not to, just sit here and dick ride him, but he's the dude that does not stop working on this stuff. I can respect that. I've always appreciated the hard work of people that put out, and he's building in public. He's that's what he's doing. He's open about his transactions on Twitter. He's leading the way for returning value to NFT holders and giving NFT projects a platform to speak on. And I think one of the things that I missed out on was how does he return value to the holders? Value to the holders. So on his show, I think his GM Web3, it's to get they partner with projects that will pay him money to be up there for half an hour or whatever. And with those funds, it's in the DAO proposal that they will put 85% of those funds back into buying RugRadio NFTs. So these guys, right? Not those ones, these ones here. So as long as the podcast keeps increasing and growing, and people keep paying that, there's going to be a lot less supply of RugRadios available because it's just going to go be purchased by the DAO. But listen, that's what we got here today. If you like the channel, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. We're going to jump into a quick 2-minute summary on the crypto market and just kind of look at some of the numbers. All right, well, we're seeing a crypto market cap coming down some more. It is at 825 billion. It's almost 200 billion to get over a trillion again. That's a lot of B's and T's. ETH's pretty flat. Bitcoin's flat. So it's definitely not these 5. Shitcoin volumes. What are we seeing here? Shitcoin volumes. I think it's that one up. 1.3 for this guy. 1.3. And that's 7,900. So 1.2 for Ethereum. That's a new pairs. 1.3 for BNB. Dollar per transaction. We're looking pretty low right now. Pretty low. Not sure what's going to go on there. We'll see. NFT marketplaces volume. We're looking. Magic Eden's still pumping up, man. They got a lot of volume going on. I'm suspecting that it is likely due to. I was actually looking at some Utes. Maybe I'll be buying here in the new year. That one particularly popped my interest. But if we look at some of this stuff here, I don't even know where to go. I don't even use Magic Eden. You can still see DeGods. Tio pilots, I don't know what that is, but Utes is number 2. Clanosauruses is still up there. So there's some stuff going on. Okay, Bears. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. But then at the end of the day, we're at 34 million. We're still seeing a lot. We're almost looking at like $1 billion for December. I don't think we'll get there. It's kind of down here. You can see on the bottom left. Interesting to see. Commodity prices. Well, commodity prices, we're seeing WTI. It's pretty flat. It's pretty wild how flat that is. European gas prices, they're still coming down. It's an unseasonably warm Europe right now, so they're curious. One article I was reading is if it gets a little bit colder, we might see a little bit of pain over there for them, especially with some of the Russia stuff going on. Bond yield rates still climbing up, man. Slowly but steadily, That spread just increased a little bit over the last day, so S&P pumped a little bit, but not looking to do too well year over year. NFT floor prices, so 282. So that's adding the sum of the floor prices for all of this collection. 74. Ooh, Bored Apes came down a fair amount. What brought that back up then? What do we see here? Like Bored Apes down 5 ETH. Something has to come up 5 ETH. What are we seeing here? What are we seeing? No. RugRadios are still the same. What's going on here? Where did that other 5 ETH come from? It's because it's not a formula. 272. Yeah. Okay. Floor price coming down a bit. One day we'll get it. Anyways, guys, hope you appreciate that content. Hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon enough.